This podcast features adult content not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. You have been warned. Previously on Back to the Story.
You see a stone structure. It is a circular tower. As you're looking into his eyes, you almost feel it's enthralling, hypnotic. The colors seem to change. Yellows and lime greens and dark, almost orange yellow that sort of pulse out from the two eye sockets. But the song, you hear it floating in the back of your head, Zeke, and you grab tight once more and prevent yourself from falling off the 60 or so feet down. As y'all begin to run up the staircase, everyone go ahead and roll initiative. Alright, so jumping back into combat as you all rush up the stairs, being boosted, sensing about. Amsen, you're the first one to kind of jump on your feet. Rushing up the stairs, you come up onto this floor and immediately looking around, you see numerous serpentine creatures on the ground, all with beady glowing eyes. And you see, as you turn to the left, a massive, looks like 15, 16-foot coiled creature with green scales, kind of coiled back in a cobra-like snake hood that kind of folds back, but the hood is almost made out of ivory bone that starts to protrude from the skull, going back, forming this cobra-like hood of bone with green glowing eyes. As you run up the stairs, Amsen, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
The hell is this? I can use luck, just in case. It's better.
Glowing.
So that's an 18.
Okay, so the pulsing green and yellow eyes are hypnotic and entrance you, but you push through it and resist it. Continue with your turn.
So, can I run back down the stairs a little bit and be like, it's absolutely massive, and then cast True Strike on myself as my action, and I'm going to inspire Kalvyn as my bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm going to sing, they fell into a burning rain of fire, they went down, 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 and the spear went higher, and they burn, burn, burn in Kalvyn's fire. His spear's on fire.
And with that, Amsen, where you are, you're kind of just in front of the upper level, if that makes sense, where the staircase would go down. And at that point, as the song rings out, Kalvyn, you're actually the next up.
Okay. Guess I would run forward. I don't see anything. I don't know where we are.
You kind of run up the staircase, and about there is when you can kind of see above just a little bit.
Do the snakes, the small snakes, look like just snakes, or
their eyes are glowing green, but they more or less look like pretty large snakes. They're maybe 7, 8 foot long, but they're slender. And as you see this massive coiled bone cobra snake, its eyes glow and make a charisma saving throw.
Yep. I can do that. I can do that. That's a natural 20 for a 25.
Okay. So you begin to hear these whispers pushing towards your mind, and you just burst through and push forward. You can continue with your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to run forward and just right there, I want to hit this thingy, this little snake, with my thingy.
Is it your spear?
Yeah, that's one.
Okay, so striking down.
That's 19.
That hits.
Did not roll well. That is 5 piercing.
Okay, so it goes straight through the body of the snake. And you actually feel it hit the stone on the other side as you withdraw. And this kind of dark blood kind of sprays out on the wall to your right. Anything else for you?
How hurt is it?
You took a significant chunk out of it. That's rough already.
Okay, I'm going to continue my movement. I guess that's about where I get right there.
Okay, so pushing forth with 2 snakes to your right and the large cobra staring at you to your left. That will bring us up to...
bonus action real quick. Sorry.
Bonus.
I am going to mumble some dedications that we won't get into right this moment, but I'm going to clasp the symbol that I had done created hanging from my neck and kind of silently pray to myself and do sacred offering my channel divinity to give me the +1, which I will take my damage right now.
Okay. And
Well, I roll well.
at that moment, as you're praying over the symbol, a ray of light seems to creep through one of the arrow slits and bounce off your symbol, glowing off that bronze material, giving it almost the brief appearance of a glowing sun, as your sword glows with a similar energy. Is that your turn?
That'll do it.
Okay, and as you do this, you kind of look up ready to fight, and immediately from your right, one of the creatures strikes out 14.
No, sir.
Okay, so it tries to wrap around your leg. You immediately lift up your leg and bash it with the back end of your spear, keeping it at bay, at which point this one will move up. 16.
No, sir.
Okay, so again, another one tries to snap towards you, and you just use the shield. You are using the shield, correct?
Yeah.
Just to bash it back towards the stone. It kind of curls back up, righting itself once again, and that will bring us up to Vesper.
Okay.
And so you, moving forward, kind of get eye level with the next floor and can see what's going on. Make a charisma saving throw. As the eyes of the massive serpentine cobra
Dirty 20.
begin to entrance you, but you push forward it. Continue with your turn.
I'm going to go 5, 10 here, and I'm going to, hopefully this will work. I'm going to cast blindness on the big snake.
Okay. And as you cast that, is that what save is that?
That is a constitution save.
Okay. That is a 3.
So it is blind.
Okay. And so as you cast this, smoke almost seems to push off and glow around its eyes, blocking its vision somewhat, to where it can no longer see.
Yeah, imagine it's my dark smoke and it comes in as a blindfold.
Shrouding its eyes. There's still a slight green glow pressing through, but most of it is completely shrouded by the shadow.
That I think is all that I can do.
Okay.
So I'm just going to scoot a little bit.
So scooting to the side, near this bloody snake in front of you, the large one, Cobra, is blinded, it appears. And Ellory, that will bring us up to you, as you now see everything that's going on, including the shrouded eyes of the Cobra. What do you do?
From where I am, I'm still on the stairs.
I have you in the new place.
Just making sure that I from where I am, I can aim at everything.
And you're kind of at eye level with the next floor, so you could go up a little bit to see things better, but you can currently see everything.
Okay, yeah, I'll go up just a little bit, and I'm going to cast Firebolt at the large one.
Okay, roll those at advantage because it currently cannot see to dodge.
Okay. Okay, so that is a dirty 20.
Yep, that hits.
And 7 fire damage.
Okay, so slammed into the body. You can see it hissing and coiling up, trying to move away from the heat that it senses they can't see. Is that it for you?
If I stay here, am I going to get in the way of Ball coming through?
You'd be difficult terrain, but he can move through you.
Okay. Is there anywhere?
Slow down a little bit. It's tight quarters. You can maybe try to move forward into the fray.
I think I'd better stay where I am.
Okay. And that will bring us up to Ezekiel. And as you come up next to Ellory, you see all of these snakes, including one whose eyes are shrouded in smoke. You can see a green glow, but it doesn't seem to affect you. What do you do?
Okay. First, how tall are the ceilings in here?
The ceiling here is about 15 feet.
Right.
The stairs kind of end here, but you do see a ladder on the other side of the room.
Okay. I'll float up, just get to here, and with my action, I will go ahead and cast Bless at second level again to get Kalvyn, Ellory, Vesper, and myself. And then bonus action, I will do Shillelagh.
Okay, so flying with these white and brown eagle's wings, you fly up, blessing them with that familiar wind just wrapping around them. And your staff?
Yes.
Hardens with knots and thorns.
And I just want to be like 10 feet. No, I'll be just 5 feet up, right in between Vesper and Ellory.
Okay, so your feet are kind of at head level of the others. Okay. All right, so just flying just a little bit above. That will bring us, Ball, you will be on deck, but right now, this creature is going to meet Snake is going to rush up towards Kalvyn, who's the only one kind of in the fray at this point. And that's going to be another 16. So as another snake comes up to you, Kalvyn, you bash it away with the shield, kind of holding it, almost just peeking over with eye level, bashing and whacking things away as they strike towards you. That will bring us up to Ball at this point.
All right, perfect. Just going to say it right in. It's looking a bit crowded here. I'm going to try to jump over.
Okay, so as you leap into the air, and you're not sure where it's coming from, whether it's from the long strider or what it is, or just the ferocity surrounding this intense moment, you leap into the air and leap a good 10 feet into the air, and you would actually be able to jump over a number of these smaller snakes easily.
All right, if I can, I'd like to get maybe like here. Can I do that?
So you would use about 15 feet to get there. You could jump there. You can't jump over the cobra, but you can over the smaller snakes. And you land there, and you can use the rest of your movement to probably have enough to shift around there.
So I have 20 feet of movement because of that spell.
Correct.
I'm going to be able to move to here, and that should be 2 snakes, I think, that can attack me.
Natural 20, so 24.
That'll hit.
So as you begin to move, you actually don't get there. You right here, and immediately one of the snakes wraps around your leg as you begin to move and pulls you back, and it kind of crawls up your body and is holding your legs and begins to hold one of your arms together. And you're grappled and restrained and can't move.
All right. Well, I will end my turn there.
But you don't take the second attack of opportunity because you can't move from that position. That will bring us up to Amsen.
Okay, so if I move up the stairs a little bit to this point, can I attack that snake that's right there holding Ball's leg?
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
It's just at the end of your range, but you would be able to do it. It's just kind of aiming up.
All right. So since I have True Strike, I get to roll this at advantage.
Okay.
Which is good because that was I can use luck. No freaking way. Oh, good. That was upside down. So that's not 3 natural ones. That is 2 natural ones and a 7. And so I will use the 7 plus 4 is 11.
Close. As you strike up, it's just hard between trying to not hit Ball and trying to not scrape the edge of the stone. You scrape it a little bit and turns it off just a bit to where it just barely misses the snake. That's wrapped around Ball's legs at this point.
Amsen sucks at fighting so much. That's my turn.
Okay. And as we move down, the snake that is wrapping around you, Ball, it begins to move up and strike towards you. At advantage because you are currently grappled, so instead of a 2, that is a 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, and so that will deal 7 piercing damage as it bites into your lower torso as it's slowly making its way up, crushing your form. That will then bring us to this one. And this one, wounded, is going to turn towards the new target and strike out towards Vesper. That is 13 to hit you, Vesper.
Nope.
And now to the creature. Now for blindness, do they get
At the end of its turn. Yeah.
At the end of its turn. So currently it is blind. So it is going to strike out blindly towards the closest thing it knows is there. It saw before it went blind, which is Kalvyn. So at disadvantage. So that is a 12 to hit, Kalvyn.
No, sir.
Yeah, so as it just blindly strikes in your general direction, you duck under it, kind of using your shield to kind of press up and knock it away, almost parrying it away. That will then, at the end of its turn, it can make another con save. And that is a 9. Still blinded. That will bring us up to this red one. That is going to strike at ball at advantage because he's restrained. 10. So it strikes towards you, ball, but just hits nothing but that augmented chainmail, not able to pierce through. And that brings us up to Kalvyn.
Well, let's clear this path. Nobody else seems interested in doing that. I will continue to... Actually, I'm going to hit the green one, the light green one that's right above me.
Okay.
I'm going to try to smack that. I might need to use my inspiration.
What did you roll?
You also have a D4 from Bless.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'll do that. It's a 13 currently standing.
That hits.
No, excuse me, a 14, because I forgot about my super duper. So
super duper hits.
Super duper hits. I love it. That's a little bit better. That's 8 piercing.
8. Okay, the wind almost guides your strike, and so does the light that's enshrouding your weapon currently, slicing into it. And the pierce almost runs along its back as it tries to get away from it. It is looking very bad at this point, but it's still sort of slithering around as some of its intestines and organs are falling out of its body.
With my bonus action, I want to try to shove a creature within 5 feet of you with my shield.
Okay, which one?
The green one.
Okay, you're gonna shove it back 5 feet?
Yeah.
Athletics.
That sucked.
18 on that end.
I did not get that. Damn. 13. Nope.
Okay. So slamming towards it, you do hit it, but it quickly kind of dives and ducks under at your ankles level. You just push forward into nothing. It quickly slithering around. That will then bring us up to the snake to your right, orange, that strikes out. That is 8 as it strikes out with its fangs, grasping towards you, and then this purple one is going to go for you as well. This one's trying to wrap around your legs. 17?
No, sir.
Okay, so just from left and right, you're just bashing things away from with your shield and your spear, just keeping them at bay. 5 snakes around you. Cannot be touched. That will bring us up to Vesper.
Okay, so with my action, I'm going to stab the pink one with my rapier.
Go for it.
Ooh, that is a lot. That is a 22 to hit. I never use my actual weapons. For 7 piercing.
Okay. You strike into it, and as you withdraw, it's unmoving for just a moment. Then it slithers and begins moving once more. It is hanging on. Half of its body, where Kalvyn hit earlier, is hanging off, but what's left of it is clinging to life.
Cool.
That's your action movement bonus.
Bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon next to this snake, and it's going to be the bow. Actually, I'm going to cast it right here instead. It's kind of with all of these guys. And I'm going to attack the large one, though.
At advantage because it's currently blind.
Yep. That is a 16.
Nice. 16 plus plus.
Well,
you can use Blessed as many times, anytime.
Oh, shit. Then, yeah. In that case, that is a dirty 20.
That is. So, shoots an arrow to the creature, dealing...
which is 6 force damage.
Okay, slamming into the scales, warping them and almost peeling them back from the body. And are you going to stay there, Vesper?
Along the wall to here.
Okay. And that will bring us up to Ellory.
Okay, so I'm still more worried about the big one than the small one, so I'm going to send another firebolt at it.
at advantage because it can't see.
Oh. So that is 26.
Yes, that absolutely is.
For 5 fire damage.
Okay, so again, slams into its form. It seems to writhe back from the flames in pain. It does not like fire.
Right. And that's it for me.
Okay, Ezekiel.
Okay, I will lie up here, about 10 feet up, so I'm right in the snake's blind face, and I'm going to smack it with my stick.
Okay, at advantage with your shillelagh stick.
So that's not great. 15.
So you do whack and slam down on the bone of ivory that protrudes from its skull, forming into that bone cobra hood, but it does not go through. It's just like slamming into stone.
Okay. That's my turn.
Okay, so still with the eagle's wings, that will bring us up to this creature in front of Kalvyn. Is clinging to life that you tried to shove back, and it is going to roll a natural 20. And so it is going to, as it wraps around Kalvyn, your legs, it begin to crush and deals 9 bludgeoning damage to your legs as it is crushed inward, and you are currently grappled and restrained. And that will bring us up to Ball. So you're currently wrapped around, restrained, and unable to move.
Okay,
Correct.
so I'm going to try to use my action to break the grapple.
Okay. So go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics check.
All right, so athletics check. A 10.
So you try to pull against it, but as soon as you let up force, it just wraps around tighter around you.
All right. Frustrated, I'll just kind of like roar out loud.
Okay, just yelling as it's slowly wrapping and moving its way upward from your legs to torso and moving towards its neck. All right, and as you roar out, flames engulf your form. These radiant flames begin to burst out.
Cool. I don't think I can't move or anything, so.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, your movement is 0. That's your action. Did you have and then bonus? So that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, my turn.
Okay, and so as these flames burst out, the snake that's wrapped around you suddenly sizzles and burns just on contact with Ball, who's now engulfed in flames. That will bring us up to Amsen.
Okay. I'm going to try once more to attack one of the snakes that is around Ball.
Okay. So there's that one that's seared around Ball that you would be able to just barely reach.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, even worse than last time. So, with my bonus action, Ball's a little bit hurt, right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay, I'll Healing Word Ball for 6.
Thank you.
And I'm going to move to the other side of Ellory here.
Okay, so shifting through along the wall. That will bring us up to the one that's wrapping around you, Ball. So it is going to continue to try to squeeze at advantage because you're currently being grappled. And that is a 21.
It would normally hit me. I'm going to try to not get hit by it.
Okay. So as it begins to wrap and try to squeeze around you, the glowing flames that are engulfing you begin to shed brighter and almost push back against the snake and is unable to hit you. It does, however, take and burn just a bit more, just being in contact with you. And that will bring us up to this one. So the pink snake that is next to Vesper and Amsen and Kalvyn is going to turn towards Vesper and is going to try to wrap her. That is a 13.
No.
Okay, so it tries to wrap around your legs. You quickly leap over them before it's able to do so. The large snake then, shaking away, begins to searching around. Let's see what it can do. Sensing movement and sensing 2 movements that are constrained. It turns towards you, Kalvyn, and blindly strikes 11. No, so as it strikes towards you, you quickly use your shield, even in your restrained form, just kind of turning as best you can to parry it away, kind of brushes against the shield, slamming, almost knocking into the ethereal divine bow next to you. And at the end of its turn, it makes another con save. That is a 18.
That will break it.
Okay. So as at the end of its turn, as it's riding back, the smoke dissipates. And it's glowing green with pulses of yellows and oranges once again forms. And Kalvyn, you will be on deck, but currently this snake to the left of you, Ball, as you're wrapped around by the other, is going to strike towards you. Advantage. Natural 20.
That'll just barely hit.
Just barely hit. And that will deal 8 piercing damage as it bites into you. But as it withdraws, its mouth is filled with flames that are just radiating off of you. And that will bring us up to you, Kalvyn. You're currently being wrapped by this snake, restrained by it. What do you do?
Can I hit it?
You can try to hit it, but it's hard with the movement.
I'm going to try to hit it.
Okay, trying to hit the one that's wrapped around you?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll with disadvantage. Oh, I'm sorry, Kalvyn. Before you do that, and you can hold those rolls, make a charisma saving throw, as once again the pulsing green, entrancing sight of the snake. At this point, actually, you've all experienced this to some degree, and you can choose to avert your eyes, but you're essentially blinding yourself.
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so a 15.
Does that include bless? Because it's on
Yep.
Okay. A 15 will just barely, as the light of the eyes are revealed with the smoke being shattered, you look over and you see the glowing pulsing just drawing your vision towards it. You look away and can continue with your turn unabated.
Okay.
You were trying to escape the grapple, or you were trying to hit it at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you end up rolling?
Now I have to do my math all over again. Hold on. 17.
That'll still hit. Yeah, so even in this form, you're able to just shift the spear down to go strike it with the tip, guided by the wind of Ezekiel's nature and the light of your...
7 piercing.
7? So as you strike down, you strike off and cut the body in half as it falls off you and onto the stone. You're now released and continue with your movement bonus if you like.
Okay, I'm going to move forward where the green one was, and I'm going to bash the purple one.
Okay, so athletics check.
That's not great. That's a 17.
You slam into it, and you push it back or to the ground?
Back.
Okay, so 5 feet. It slides back along the stone, flopping and writhing.
To be fair, I think I would have taken an opportunity attack from the pink one.
Thank you for that. So we'll strike towards you. That one is natural 17. 21, actually.
Yeah.
So you take 5 piercing damage.
And then I'm gonna move up on the purple one.
Okay, shifting up, and that will bring us up to the orange one here next to you, and it is going to go ahead and strike towards you, actually. As you are freed, that is a 20, dirty 20.
That hits.
Okay, it wraps around your legs once more, a familiar crushing upon your legs, dealing 4 bludgeoning damage, and you're currently restrained once again. That was the orange one, and now the purple one that's on the ground, or that's back, kind of rights itself and immediately strikes. I had advantage because you're restrained, Kalvyn. So that is this 11. So even as you're restrained, you still are able to twist just enough and put your shield in between you and it, as its fang just scratches along the bronze metal. That will bring us up to Vesper.
Okay. I'm going to move the spiritual weapon up here and attack the large snake again.
First, give me
that's right.
Say the charisma saving throw.
Oh, that was a good roll. I'm going to use that instead. 13.
Bless.
Instead?
Oh, yeah.
Roll that bless.
That's a 16.
Okay, so you almost just freeze up. You begin to just lower your hands, lower your guard, just being entranced by the vision, but you push through it. The wind brushes along your face, brings you back to the present, and you continue with your turn, shifting the divine bow up.
Okay, which is a 21 to hit on that.
That will hit.
Plus whatever from West. Which is 5 force damage.
Okay, so it slams into it. A divine arrow. It's peeling off a few more of the scales that kind of fall to the ground, these dark green vile scales of the serpent.
And then if we're attacking, I'm going to go 5, and I'm going to take an opportunity attack.
Okay.
This one. I'm going to go next to the big guy.
16?
It will hit.
Okay. And so it deals 7 piercing damage. Bites into your calf, releasing as the blood begins to pour out.
And then with my action, I'm going to do Smoldering Heritage and fill this place with smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, 10-foot radius sphere of smoke centered on myself.
Okay, so smoke begins to envelop everything around you, blinding everyone with this deep, thick smoke.
It's blind but so are they.
All right. Anything else for you, Vesper?
That will be my everything.
Okay, that will bring us up to Ellory.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to try is casting Acid Splash, which I haven't used in a while, at the big one and the blue one, which is dexterity saving throws for both.
That was the big one and the blue one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the blue one is just a straight roll because that's 7 now. And the big one also rolls crap, so they both fail.
All right.
So the acid bubble pops out as acid burns.
So just 3 for each.
Okay, burning into their scales. The one wrapped around ball is now looking very rough. It is on that sword. The big one is starting to look worn down as the acid splashes on some of the areas where the scales have been peeled up by the divine weapon. And is that the end of your turn, Ellory?
Yeah, I don't think I can do anything else useful, so.
And that will bring us up to Ezekiel.
Alright, so I'm surrounded by smoke and can't see right now.
Yeah, you currently can't see.
So I'm going to go bonus action and go giant spider, so that I have blind sight. If he can't see me, am I biting with advantage?
So we're in the air, and then you into a spider onto the ground.
I keep my wings.
Oh, you do. So a weird flying spider. That is horrifying. It stays in the air in the smoke at just the upper crest of the smoke sphere. Blind sight. So no, it's just a regular roll.
All right.
As you feel the vibrations of the room and begin to strike forward, you almost sense it move and shift to the beginning of your strike. Okay, so you strike forward and you scrape along the body of it, the vibrating large figure that you know is the giant snake, but it's able to serpentine away to where you can't penetrate into the scales. Do you do anything else, flying spider?
I'm going to float out of the cloud over to the other side. I don't really know how spider eyes work, but I will close them so I don't make its weird gaze, but I should still be able to sense it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you just all the eyes closed, moving over there. Anything else for you? Okay, that brings us up to Ball. At the beginning of your turn, you have to choose now to avert your gaze or deal with the entrancing eyesight of the snake.
So I would have, before I rolled accidentally, because I thought it was Ball at that time. So I'll just go with that. So I rolled a 13 then.
Okay, to just make the charisma save?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so as the snake is wrapping around you, you turn and you see just the pulses of yellows and oranges and greens, and you're entranced by it. And for the rest of your turn, you do nothing. And that will bring us up to Amsen. As the rest of you, actually, you are all in smoke. You see nothing.
So I appreciate it, Vesper, but the very first thing that I'm going to do is get out of the smoke.
And as you come out of the smoke, to choose to avert your gaze or make the charisma save.
I'm going to make the charisma save.
Okay. You see Ball just staring at the eyes of this creature, and it draws your gaze towards it.
I'm going to use luck, because I roll like crap. That's significantly better. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, so you press forward and begin to just snatch your head away. Continue with your turn.
And I am going to viciously mock the gigantic snake thing.
Okay, and that is a what save?
Wisdom save.
11.
No. And I would like to say... You honestly surprise me with how shit you are.
You see the eyesight that's normally feels so powerful, entrancing those around it. Just surprise and hurt that you just ignored it. And it takes how much damage?
It takes 1 psychic damage.
1. Despite that, its eyesight flickers just a bit.
And it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Alright, is that you, Amsen?
No, I'm gonna move back a little bit so that I'm not fully in the smoke, but the smoke is obscuring the path between me and the snake.
Okay. So shifting back, that will bring us up to the creature wrapped around Ball, who at this point just falls off, burning in flames, dropping to the ground as Ball's released from that restraint. And that will bring us up to this smoke bubble over here. And in the smoke bubble, there's a straight roll because you're blind, and so is it. Vesper, you feel something just kind of... You hear a snapping bite sound at your feet, somewhere to your right. You can't really tell where it came from. It doesn't hit you. And then to this creature. This one is going to... This creature, to the Valoryn Siren, is going to snap and reach its tail around towards Vesper. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. So you suddenly feel, in this darkness, a large, massive, almost finger-like tail wrap around and pull you in. You take 15 bludgeoning damage and are currently grappled and restrained. You feel it crushing. You can feel some of your bones popping and snapping as it wraps its tail around you, pulling you in. And that will bring us up to Kalvyn, you're on deck, but first, this guy's going to snap at Ball like a dummy. Unrestrained, so just a regular roll. That one is a 17 to hit Ball.
That won't hit.
Okay, so you feel a snapping towards you, and you just barely hear it. You're just entranced by these eyes. You vaguely hear a at your back. And that will bring us up to Kalvyn.
I'm going to try to hit whatever is fucking got me this time.
Okay. And you're wrapped around, and you're kind of in the smoke, actually.
Yeah.
You can't really see from where you are. So be disadvantaged to attack for multiple reasons.
14.
That will still hit. Go no damage.
10 piercing.
Wow. So you just almost strike against the form around you and just slice down, and you cut into it. You can feel the spinal cord, and you just barely sever it, but it's still managing to hold on. You almost brought that one down.
Okay, here's a question. If I were to use my shield bonus action against said creature, would that have any effect? Would I be able to push it back, push it away?
I'd say normally you couldn't. It has to be an action, but because your shield master ability, I'll say, yeah, you can try it. So you can make an athletics check.
Oh.
Because of your training specifically with the shield.
It's a 19.
No. So yeah, you push it off, and it releases you, and you suddenly move once again. So that's your action bonus. You still have your movement, and you're free to move, though you are currently blind.
I'm going to take a step out of the smoke.
Okay. You take a step out, and you can scarcely see a little bit of the green glow. Was there anything else you were doing?
No, that's everything I can do, yeah.
Okay. And so that will end your turn. That will bring us up to this creature. It's going to come up, and it's going to do it regular style. And that is a...
Is it still in the smoke? And does that have any effect?
Yeah, it rolls lower. So it strikes out towards you, Kalvyn, but you hear it moving and hissing. You just turn to the side, shifting with your shield, and just quickly bash it away. Hardly even looking at it, and that will bring us up to the purple one who can see you. That is not good. So again, another purple one strikes out towards you, and you're just quickly shifting with your shield and parrying with your spear, keeping these two snakes at bay. That will bring us up to Vesper.
Okay, well, I'm going to cry out in pain, because that was a lot of hit points, and try and just grab whatever has me and cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay, let me see. Is that a touch spell?
That's an attack, so.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Oh, awesome.
Does Bless work for that?
Yeah, I rolled Bless. With a Bless, it's a 13.
Okay, so you try to reach out towards it, but you can't reach your hands out, and the magic just fades out, unable to find a target.
Then I'm gonna have my spiritual weapon swing at the big snake, but I'm gonna move it first. I'm gonna move it out of the smoke and have it swing. What's that one good? That's a 21 against the...
That'll hit.
For 8 force.
Okay. At this point, it is looking very rough. The creature is still writhing, but at this point, being hit after hit after hit is slowly wearing this creature down. It's not going to last much longer.
Can I move at all or no?
You're restrained by the creature. And that will bring us up to Ellory.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, from where I am, cast Firebolt in the direction of the big one.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Or, actually, you know what? I'm going to move out of the smoke. I'm going to move past Amsen and cast it from outside of the smoke.
Okay, it's going to have some cover bonus, but you can roll a straight roll at it.
Yeah, I ignore it up to 3/4 cover.
Okay, so just, let's see. It was barely. Just roll a straight roll.
Okay. Do I have to roll a charisma save first since I moved out of the smoke?
You can either avert your gaze or make the charisma save.
Okay, I'll make the save.
Okay.
That's 17.
Okay. So you almost waver as you're forming the fire in your hands, but you press forward, launching it forward. It goes straight back down.
Just an 11 for the attack.
And so flies over it as it quickly hissing and ducking down as the fire goes over, almost hits Ezekiel and slams into the wall behind you. Anything else for you, Ellory?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Ezekiel.
Great. I will just try and take down the big one, I guess.
Okay, eyes shut.
I have blind sight, so yes, I can.
Okay. Straight
still attack. That's not even going to hit with Bless, is it?
Yeah. No. So just, you land on it, you try to strike the things through, but the outer scales are just too tough. The bone hood almost creates an armor along its back.
That's my turn.
Okay, and that will bring us up to Ball, who is now free from restraint.
I'm going to just kind of avert my gaze and just try to close my eyes and jump on it, basically, simultaneously.
Okay. So you close your eyes, preventing from having to deal with that. Make an athletics check. And I'll say add disadvantage because you're jumping on a moving, living creature to try and land on it.
All right. 11?
Let's see.
Does it see me coming?
You jump up and leap surprisingly high, slamming down onto the creature. Eyes closed, and you try to reach out for it, and you kind of find a handle upon the creature. It's moving quickly, and it's slippery in your grasp, but you have it, and you're currently on top of it. And I'll just move you here to kind of denote that, just so you can still see the creature.
All right, and you said it was looking kind of weak?
It was looking pretty rough, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just try to use my rune weapon and just breathe down on it.
Okay, so holding it as best you can, just it has to make a dex save, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Not great.
Speed's 13. DC 13.
15, actually.
Okay.
Natural 12.
So I think otherwise it's half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So how much damage does that actually deal?
That's 8 fire, cut in half, for 4.
Okay. As ball leaps onto the creature, grabbing and just blowing flames downward. It tries to dodge, but there's nowhere really to go. And some of the flames roll, burning some of its skin. It's hanging on. It won't last much longer. Is that the end for the ball?
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, and that'll bring us up to Amsen. So Amsen, you're kind of partially in the smoke there. More or less blinded from your current position, but you can move out. What do you do?
Okay. So you said the snake is looking pretty bad, right?
Last time you saw it, you could hear it hissing. You can't really get a good beat on it from where you are.
Okay, so can I move up the stairs and then skirt the edge of the staircase outside of the...
As you move out, you turn and you see Ball just breathing flames on top of the creature, about 10 feet up where Ezekiel is, and you see the glowing green eyes pulsing. Do you avert your gaze or try to press through it?
I'll avert my gaze for now.
Okay, so closing your eyes, unaffected by the eyes.
Okay, that's basically all my movement. So I'm going to cast True Strike on myself for my action.
Okay, and as you do that, you almost feel a sense of the presence is moving around you.
And then, yeah, that's going to be it.
Okay. And staying there, that will bring us up to Pink One, who's going to strike towards Vesper at advantage because you're currently well. So that is a 19 to hit you.
Yeah.
And you're already grappled, so it's just going to bite you. 7 piercing damage as it just into what remains of your exposed body, as most of it's covered by the large form of the creature. And that will bring us up to it. So, you are currently restrained by the creature. And Vesper is going to just squeeze. You just feel it. At advantage. That is a 21 to hit.
Uh-huh.
And you take...
Less than 7.
Oh no, it's...
I'm out.
16 damage.
Yeah, I'm out.
As it just, you feel your ribs just popping, snapping, and everything goes black and everything falls silent. As it drops you.
Smoke drop when I go out? It doesn't. We never really covered that.
Depends on if I want it to be. I'm gonna say it does. I think it should be a concentration on this thing. The smoke fades away, and all of you can see Vesper on the ground as the tail of this creature is unraveling around her as it senses she is no longer moving. With nowhere really for it to move, it's just going to stay there, essentially being grappled by Ball, and that's going to bring us up to this one. It's going to move up, and this time snap at the new target. Natural 1, it bites up towards you, Amsen. You quickly peer away or whatever out of it, and that brings up Kalvyn.
Just to let you know, I did close my eyes.
Thank you. Still rolled really low. So just you hear a slithering coming in your direction, and as it gets closer, you just jump blindly, hoping it doesn't hit you, and you hear a snap beneath your feet. That'll bring us up to Kalvyn. As the smoke fades, do you avert your gaze, or do you try to press through the entrancing eyes of the Cobra?
Oh, I'll roll.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on.
Charisma saving throw, sorry.
16.
Okay, so you press through it. So, keeping your eyes wide, you press through, turning, and you can see the smoke dissipate. You see Vesper on the ground. You see the coils of the creature unwrapping around it. She's no longer grappled or restrained. It doesn't care now that she's gone, essentially.
Cool. I'm gonna run around these snakes here to get to Vesper, and I'm gonna lay on hands for 15. Yeah, take all the opportunities.
So that is a natural 16. That's 20.
That'll hit.
And actually, it grapples you.
Dang it.
Right there. You're grappled and restrained, and you take 10 bludgeoning damage. As it grapples around your already multiple times it's done this, and it wraps around, squeezing your ankles.
Which one?
Still, the purple one.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna hit it instead.
Okay. And it's looking pretty rough. Disadvantage though, because you're still grappled, restrained by it.
Of course. I got 14.
Yeah. And how much damage do you do?
8 piercing.
Yeah. So you strike through it. You're now free from the grapple as it falls onto the stone, writhing. Its nerves still forcing it to move, but it's dead.
Okay. Then I'm at the very least gonna move around. Actually, can I do what I did last time where I move in front of the orange and then shove it away using my shield as my bonus action?
Yeah. You turn and roll that athletics check.
That's not good. That's a 12.
It's enough. Did you want to push it back or to the
Push
ground?
it back 5 feet, yeah.
Okay. In that direction?
Yeah, and then I want to get up to, use the rest of my movement to get up to Vesper.
Yes, you quickly break out, killing one creature, shift, slam the other with your shield, pushing it back, and move up to Vesper, who's unconscious on the ground. That will bring us up to this guy. Vesper, you'll be on deck, followed by Ellory, but currently the orange one that you push back falls back in line, coming up to you, Kalvyn. Striking forward is a 19 to hit.
God dang it.
Doing 5 piercing damage as it strikes into you. So purple is now dead. Vesper, make a death saving throw.
Here we go. 4. That's better.
Okay. The blood is beginning to pour out. You can see Kalvyn as you're the closest. Broken bones, probably a few broken ribs. That'll bring us up to Ellory.
Okay, so I'm gonna move back up the stairs a bit near Vesper so I can get a better shot and cast Fireball. Not Fireball, Firebolt. There's a difference. Are
you averting your gaze?
Oh, wait, no, I'm not, so I'm gonna...
Charisma save. As the entrancing, glowing green and yellow eyes.
12?
16. That will save. So okay. You almost feel it drawing, and you turn to look at it, putting your hands down as the flames fade, and then the wind picks up once again, bringing you back, and the flames form, and you strike.
Okay, so...
Hurling it. Straight up.
A dirty 20.
Towards the big one, I assume, correct?
Towards the big one, yes.
Yep, that hits.
For 7 fire.
How do you want to do this? So just to paint the picture, as you're thinking, the creature is in the center, wounded. You see Ball is on top of it, holding it. You can see the flames still licking off the body. You see behind him Ezekiel, this flying spider with wings. Vesper's on the ground. Kalvyn's rushing towards her, and Amsen you see to your left. How do you finish this thing off with fire?
I would like to hurl the firebolt directly into its mouth.
Okay. So as it gazes its eyes towards you, trying to prevent you from doing anything, just entrancing you and hypnotizing you, you create these flames, and staring it straight in the eyes, its mouth opens up. And you can almost hear words on its lips. And as its mouth is open, the flaming bolt of fire hurls through the air, slamming into its mouth. And for a moment, you hear sort of like a pot boiling over. As you see it begin to writhe back, Ball kind of slams down to the ground next to it, holding it still as the writhing body just burns. You can see the acid melted, those scales pushed away, holes beginning to form, and flames kind of out of its side before it comes still. Slowly, its nerves still pushing, its eyes go out, and Ball eventually is holding an unmoving serpent. The final 2 snakes, one is almost dead, like 1 hit point, the other one has a few. Y'all quickly strike those down. leaving you in an empty room with Vesper bleeding out.
I made one more save for the...
You wouldn't have made it to it, because on my turn I would have floated over, reached down a spidery leg, and lay on hands for 8 hit points.
So as Kalvyn is reaching his hand out, beginning to glow, this horrifying flying spider.
I also, despite my token, I am large, so I am...
just in case it wasn't better.
Horse-sized giant spider is laying its hand on you and bringing you back to life.
Vesper, you breathe in. As y'all kind of take in the scene as the last few snakes are taken out. You see you're at the floor, clean stone room, a few arrow slits here and there so you can see out. The stairs in here, there's one ladder at the other end that goes up. There's, again, piles of bone, piles of wood or broken furniture, rotten something from long ago, and the bodies of these snakes and this massive, apparently Valren cobra as you recover. What do you do?
Fucking Valren.
I'm kind of still on my knees, just holding my wrists.
Kalvyn goes and finds a corner and lays on hands himself because holy shit.
So, who's looking the worst off? Because I got healing.
I have healing too.
I'll give a second level healing word to Vesper.
Oh, okay, or we could take a rest.
That's a 6. So I rolled crap.
I also suppose maybe we just take a breather. No sense in expending all these spells.
Yeah, who else looks hurt? I know Ball and Kalvyn are both injured. Who else? Is it just them? Me?
Yeah, I think so.
How bad is Ball?
Ball.
Oh. Roger in the chat. How bad are you? Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna give myself 5, I'm gonna give Kalvyn 10, and I'm gonna give Ball 5 of my channel divinity.
Anyway, while we're just like casually relaxing, what do we think? Do we want the whole head, or do you want me to just take off those cobra things?
I'm sure fangs will work just fine.
Well, I think we might need the whole head if we want to prove that it's a Valren, so that they can see the eyes. I don't know.
Getting a look at it, now that it's still and unmoving, and you're not having a virtual gaze, etc., the bone that comes from its skull and then forms the cobra-like hood is out of bone. It almost starts separately as 2 horns. They sort of mold into the cobra hood. So it sort of has the horns. It's just ingrained in the cobra body. The eyes are no longer glowing. They're just black. Almost fly eyes, but black.
I'm sure if we took a set of horns back this big, they may understand this was something a little different than normal.
Yeah. Are we going to take the heads from the smaller ones too? See if we can get something for them?
Maybe.
Take as many trophies as we can if we know that we'll get gold from them.
The snakes, now that their eyes aren't glowing, look more or less normal, but then again, their heads aren't that big, and you could easily throw them in one of your bags, just in case.
Yeah.
Do you guys go ahead?
I'm just going to start cutting off heads just in case we can get something for them.
And what do y'all do with the big one? How are y'all harvesting that?
I can try and saw off the horns.
Okay. The little snake heads are pretty easily to take off. So just put 5 snake heads in your inventory, and then Ezekiel, give me a survival check. It takes you a little while as everyone's kind of resting up, but this doesn't have to be pretty. Even if you cut and scrape the bone sort of horns, it's not going to ruin it. The eyes are much more delicate. You might have burst them. But with this stuff, you eventually cut through and get them 1 and then 2 of the horns ripped off. And they're sort of elongating. They almost, to the size of a shield almost. A long tower shield almost.
Strap them to my pack.
No, that was certainly interesting. How much do you think they'll give y'all for these?
Hard to say.
Well, hopefully a little bit more than they give you for maybe.
We can hope, but I'm not going to bet on it.
Yeah, my limited dealings with city folks have led me to believe that that's probably true.
Still, do you think we have enough?
Well, I have to go home. Who knows how many are going to be on the way home, so.
Well, I, for one, vote for heading back with what we have.
Yeah, we should probably head back by this point. How many do we have? 9?
That's, including the cobra.
Yeah.
8 of the regular wolf-type Valrin. I think we collected 5 corrupted birds.
Mm-hmm. So even with what we have, if we can convince them to pay us for the things that are not absolutely obviously Valrin, then we should have enough for everyone. And we might hit a couple on the way back. We're a couple days out anyways, so... And then that way we can get back in time for about 2.5 days before we have to go.
Sounds good to me.
It took us, what? How many days to get out here?
Basically 2.
Yeah, this is day 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I look around this lighthouse? Is there anything of interesting, of note in here?
You can make a investigation check.
Can I help him look around?
Sure. You can roll at advantage, Ezekiel.
And that's a 12.
A 12. Looking around, there's piles of stuff. You kind of toss through it a little bit. Looks like just more bone, rotted wood, some stone. And you do see the ladder that leads up. There was once a hatch there, but the sunlight is coming down. Looks like whatever wooden hatch was there is rotted long ago. Yeah, the big thing is you find those piles, and anything of note here is basically rotten away.
I'll just climb up the ladder and peek my head out there.
Okay. So climbing up the ladder, you climb onto the where the beacon would be for this lighthouse. You see a stone brazier, a bowl, kind of in the center. There's nothing currently in it besides scraps of bone and rotted something. You do see next to the brazier is looks like an altar. There's moss and mold kind of growing over it.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Detect Magic as I look everything over here.
Okay. Looking over, you detect sort of a magic. You detect 2 things. One is a general sense of nasty about this place. It's very vague. The second is you detect something of magic underneath, it seems, the altar.
Someone want to help me look at this up here? I found something. I know where my talents lie.
Sure, I can come look at it.
That's not probably better, so I'm patching everybody up.
So Amsen, you climb up the ladder, move over to where Ezekiel is looking at this stone altar. The symbols are covered by vines and moss. And it's about the size of like a crate. It's maybe 1 foot by 2 feet of solid stone. And Ezekiel, you notice it was underneath.
Ball said he would divine sense when Ezekiel says check something out.
Okay. Ball, as you do that, you detect this place was once something pure, something glorious, something almost holy, but it's not now. It's been corrupted. It's been desecrated. You don't detect any entity, but this place is desecrated.
I'd like to roll an investigation check on you said it was like an altar of some sorts?
Yeah. You scrape away easily enough without having to make an investigation check and find some symbols beneath. And now you can make the religion check.
Okay, I'll make a religion check then.
And this stone altar it's large, but it's not connected or mortared to the stone floor.
Unfortunately, that's only a 10.
Not high, but you've seen this symbol on Kalvyn, actually. You see a circular symbol with spears radiating off of it in the cardinal directions and the sub-cardinal directions. These spears. It looks very sun-like on the top. You see a few other symbols on the sides you don't quite recognize, but you do recognize the symbol of Valisol front and center on the top.
Alright, so there's like a little trap door thingy leading between the floor and the ladder to this, right?
There was once one, but whatever wooden hatch is gone. Yeah, it's just a hole now.
Alright, so I peek my head down the hole, and I'm like, Kalvyn, your deity is up here.
What? That's crazy.
Well,
I'm coming. And he comes rushing up the whatever.
Okay, so Kalvyn, you quickly come up the metal ladder coming to the top and move over to Ezekiel and Amsen, and there is an
Ezekiel,
altar
who is about to knock it over to try and figure out what's underneath it, is like, oops.
Quickly hands off and shifts as Kalvyn, you do move over and you see clearly the symbol of Valisol on the front.
Where is he? I don't see him anywhere.
Well,
Valisol, where you at, buddy?
I was just going
to thank you for the spear.
I was just going to explain that, well, it's more of his symbol and his altar thing.
Bless your heart.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, yeah. Symbols and stuff.
I don't know, I thought you might find it useful. Or find it
There is something magic underneath it. I just don't know how to get to it.
Looks at Amsen and kind of looks at Ezekiel. Looks back at Amsen, looks at the thing, the altar, and I guess kind of unassuredly starts squatting, going to put his arms around it to pick it up to see what he can do with it. I don't know if this will work, but I'll try to use it. I don't know what would I do with it is basically what I'm trying to ask.
As Kalvyn kind of wraps his arms around it and kind of lifts it up a little bit, there's a depression in the stone underneath where it looks like there's a pocket and there's a few items in there. Quickly, one of you grabbing them out. There's something wrapped in cloth. There's a small vial. And that is it, I think.
I'll unwrap the cloth.
Okay, so unraveling the cloth, you see two things side by side. You see a small wooden, almost the size of a jewelry box, what looks like resined pine, but it's not ornate at all. It's very simple. Opening it up, you see what's left of a few vials of something, some gall, some cloth. It's essentially a healer's kit. Half of it is rotted, but there's a few uses you could probably pull out of it. 5 uses, and then the other thing. And within that, you actually see a vial with your detect magic is radiating magic. And the other thing wrapped in the cloth is, you open it up and it's wood. It has a very strong scent to it of gasoline.
Interesting. I'll just kind of hand them forward, assuming we can come. I don't know. I don't know who would want these, but I have no requirement for them.
I don't have it, and I don't have the identify spell. But could I use an Arcana check to try to figure out what these items might be? Maybe not the exact effects, but to give some sort of hint towards it?
Yeah. Which one are you looking at?
You said that there was a vial that's radiating magic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that first.
Okay. Yeah. So holding it up.
No, that's a 6.
Okay. Looking at it, it looks vaguely familiar, but you can't really place what it is.
Do I get a school of magic on it?
Restoration.
Okay.
It's covered in dust. It's old, but
and I found that one. Well, I found that in the healer's kit, so...
Yeah, you can guess what it is.
Do you mean conjuration? Because restoration is definitely is definitely not a school of magic in D&D.
Well, whatever it's called.
Cure Wounds is conjuration. Or no, it's evocation. They keep changing it, damn it!
And it used to be necromancy.
It was necromancy and conjuration, and now it's evocation for some reason, but okay.
It's not a restoration? That's crazy. Well, whatever, it's healing magic. This is a healing potion. Jesus. It's a healing potion. It does 2d4 plus 2 healing, or whatever the normal potion is.
Alright,
can 2d4 plus 2.
Can I look at the gasoline-soaked piece of wood?
Yeah. You don't, unless you have alchemy, it'd just be straight intelligence.
Okay, I'll just do straight intelligence then.
Okay.
It's a little bit better. That's an 11.
Okay.
You should still get jack of all trades, I think.
Yeah, in that case, 13? That's a 12.
12? Okay. So with the potion, something you notice, especially since y'all have seen potions before, this one's bigger. It does the same thing, but it's bigger, and it would essentially take an action to drink. It's older, not as efficient. You have to drink more of it. It takes an action for some, take a bonus action for the newer ones. The block of wood seems to have been soaked in something very flammable. You guess just looking at clearly a lighthouse, a brazier where they would light things on fire. This would probably be used to light fires very quickly. That's about as much as you get as far as the details.
Alright, so I'll basically tell them that it seems to look very, very flammable.
I'll hold on to that if you don't mind.
Sure.
You're probably the least flammable out of all of us.
This is true.
Kalvyn is currently swinging the altar around, trying to figure out what it could be good for. He calls down to Ball, "Hey, Ball, catch this. I'm going to take this with me." And he tries to drop it down the hatch.
Okay. Ball, you hear that. Do you react immediately or do anything?
Roger's typing.
Okay.
Yes, I catch it.
Okay. Make an athletics check. Unless you're
with my face.
Jesus Christ. TPK impending.
So let's assume not 20, because he can't roll.
As we further desecrate the Temple of Soul.
So we'll say Ball, as Ball begins to move towards the hole, and Kalvyn, you kind of drop it, it goes, slams in, actually cracks some of the stone beneath, and it's almost sitting at an angle as it cracked into the stone, halfway through the floor into the next, whatever's below, the staircase below.
Did you get it?
Shit. Kalvyn.
Amsen thinks it might be helpful. I'm just trying to, take all the resources we can get. We need everything we can.
Roger has typed, and Ball says, "No."
Oh, no. Kalvyn comes scrambling down, and he's all, "What did you do?"
Oh.
He tries to dust it off. It's like, oh, man.
Okay. This is going to be a fun trip.
I really want to ask Ball about the whole fire thing that happened during the fight, but I'd rather have that conversation when Roger can actually talk.
I can try and do a Ball voice.
Instead of all of us sitting here staring intently at our screens waiting for Roger to respond. No pressure.
Yes,
Should we start making our way back then?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So you'll take a short rest, patch up your wounds as best you can after harvesting everything that you wanted to harvest, and the plan is to head back south towards Embershore. Is that the plan? Okay. So as you'll pack everything up after resting, begin to head down and out of the tower. That is where we'll pick up next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Back to the Story. For notifications when an episode goes live, you can find us on Stitcher. It's like Pandora, but for podcasts. You can download the app and the algorithm will help you discover similar shows and allow others to find ours as well. If you would like to contact us, you can tweet us at back2_the_story. Alternatively, you can email us at thebonfirefables@gmail.com. Or if you would like further information about the campaign, the player characters, NPCs, or behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, follow us on Tumblr at back-to-the-story.tumblr.com.